Yo, what's good, fam? Welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm Main Deck Perfy, and we had 8 big events this past weekend that I wanted to go ahead and touch on. We had the Grand Crusaders Cup, plus a bunch of different regional events, and so we're going to take a quick peek at a bunch of the top 8s, as well as a couple of the top 16s. We're going to go through, we're going to spot check them to see if there's any unique and awesome tech cards that are built to fight the meta, and then we're going to talk about them just a teeny bit. I know we have a set in London, so this is going to be a great way so we can take a peek at some of the big decks to be on the lookout for, and some decks that our competitors can be ready to tech against and tech for moving into this weekend. Nevertheless, let's jump into it and take a quick look at the most recent 8 events that just transpired. All right, we are now looking at the Mox Saga PTM Regional. We had a bunch of unique decks here in this event. Here at the top, we have Ascent runner-up and Ascent winner Raylam piloting Winsiriu Gaugia, followed up by a pair, that's right, 2 Water Ginbu lists with Inoklok as well as Mickey. Then we have Victor HK with Fire Crux Lorraine, Jerry piloting Water Aetherwing Diana, Big Bear piloting Fire Crux Lorraine, Z12 ZZ123 on Winsiriu, as well as Casper coming in 8th place with Fire Crux Lorraine. Big congratulations to all 8 of these players for making top cut. That is awesome. Let's take a quick dive into this to see whether or not we see any interesting tech pieces and just quickly go over these lists. Feel free to pause at any point if you want to take a look at the deck list so you can get some inspiration for yourself, or I will go ahead and link the Fractal of Insight down in the description below. Nevertheless, we have Raylam here. Raylam flexing the Kaze Spirit. Pretty normal material deck. We've got 2 Royal Oath Guards to stop the aggro decks in the main deck, followed up with 2 Gazelles here on the sideboard. Nothing too crazy or uncommon in this list. Inoklok rocking the Enfeebling Orb. There is no Claymore here in this main deck. We do run 2 Unbroken Mustangs in the main deck. We do see Sprawling Cleanses as well as Thronekeeper Bullfrogs. Sprawling Cleanse, I think, wonderful replacement for Revitalizing Cleanse. It's not as big of a recovery as Revitalizing Cleanse can be. However, it does have Floating Memory stapled to it, which I think is just a strict upgrade. But maybe that's just me. Sideboard, we do have Song of Frost as well as Excalibur. Nothing too crazy. Expel the Departed just to try and combat some of the fractal lists. It's also pretty useful against Tristan, getting rid of the Ominous Shadows. Mickey here, running Tideholder Claymore in their list. I'm a big fan of it. A little bit higher water count, also running Bullfrogs and Spalling Cleanse. A bunch of protection here on the side. Victor on Fire Crux Lorraine does run a 1 of reprogram. I know a lot of Merlin lists are running reprogram so that they have a skill that can target things with Nimue. This one's running 3 Dev Blows as well as 1 Rending Flames. Side deck, 3 Immolation Traps, and a cheeky Mirror-Bound Covenant. This is a new Fantasia that says each player's maximum influence is 7. Which is kind of crazy. It helps out against the Tristan matchup where they like to accumulate a million cards. Nevertheless, I like that card. I wonder how frequently Victor brought that in and how effective it was. Jerry here on Aetherwing Diana, running Palvor and Inert Sword to get those cheeky 5-attack Cheshire Cats. Nothing too crazy in the main. Sideboard's running 1 more Snow White. I see a lot of them running 2. This one's running 3. This one is Fire Crux Lorraine, running Saint's Vow, 2 Cheshire Cats, some main deck Smokeouts. It is running Varuk, which is used to try and get around things like Crystallized Destiny, as well as Resolute Stand. Also running 2 Morgan Soul Guides, a tech piece that I think is really strong against water, making it so that they cannot recover, makes it so they cannot innervate agility. That taking away their ability to get stealth at fast speed is quite handy in my personal opinion. It's something that I've been testing out in Merlin. I think it's pretty good in Merlin. You get the class bonus, which is dope. Moving on, we have Winsiriu. I don't see anything crazy in this Wind Seiryu list. Nothing out of the ordinary. Gazelles and Royal Oathguard on the side. Now we've got Casper with Fire Crux Merlin. Majestic Spirits in here. We are running 4 Incarnate Majesties, which is pretty solid when you couple it with Sacred Engulfment. Sacred Engulfment makes it so that you can empower 4 or more for the cost of 2 influence, 1 to pay for the card, 1 for Sacred Engulfment, and you can empower a lot. So you can get out the Incarnate Majesty with efficiency very quickly as soon as your turn 4 when you level up. Incarnate Majesty stabilizes the board exceptionally well and helps combat a lot of these decks. Outside of that, we have Smokeouts on the side, Regals on the side, and Nimways. Nimways to help combat against like Ginbu and Seiryu. Looking here at the main board, we only have Resolute Stand, it looks like, to target target Spell Shroud units. Normally they run the Reprogram instead of Undying Dreams, or just as an additional card in addition to Undying Dreams, so that you can reprogram. Since it's a skill, you're able to target things like Seiryu and kill them. Here on the side, it looks like they're going to run Smokeouts as their skill instead of Reprogram. I personally like Reprogram a little bit better because that's floating memory, but beggars can't be choosers. Anyways, take a quick peek here at our graphic that we've created for the top 8. We do see 2 Wind Seiryu, 2 Ginbu, 2 Crux of the Rain, 1 Fire Merlin, as well as 1 Water Aetherwing Diana. Pretty wonderful results for these players. Congratulations to all 8 of them. They did an exceptional job. Honorable mention, there was a Fractal Dao-chan that made 10th place. I'm a big Fractal player myself. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the next regionals, which is going to be the AK PTM regionals. This was the side event for the Grand Crusaders Cup. This had 183 players. That's a ton of players for a regional. And we have ourselves a crazy mixture of fire and wind. Looking here at this graphic, we have ourselves 4 fire and 4 wind in our top 8. We have Kui Tiao on Suzaku. We have Miffy on Fire CL. We have Sez on Fire Luxem Xander. Then we've got a pair of Wind Shadow Strike Tristans here with Rinder and Rui Hong. We have Snow Wolf on Wind Umbra Diana. We've got Fate Seal on Fire Slime Sylvie and Choco on Wind Seiryu Gaugia. Let's pivot over and take a quick peek here at some of these lists to see if we can find any spice in here. Starting from the top, I can't imagine we'll see a ton, but a lot of these aggro lists are pretty flushed out for the most part. It does have a cheeky Flame Wreath's Call. Sometimes you can get rid of a Taunter, and then you can also get rid of your Suzaku so that you get an extra attack out of it. We have Infernal Vessel on the side. I see a lot of Infernal Vessels in the main, and there's just a ton of fun of 1-ofs in here. Outside of Exposed Darkness, everything else is a 1-of. That's very interesting. Miffy on Umbra CL. Let's see. Nothing crazy in here. It's running Heavy Swing. It's running 1 of Nocturne's Oblivion, 3 Abnegation, 3 Beguiling Coup, 3 Dev Blows. This is going to be the big attack version. Some additional Nocturne Oblivion and Carters on the side, and Orb of Sealing. Overlapping Visages to help combat the big Seiryu threats. Says here, running Ducal Seal. It is running the Mercenary's Blade. So Mercenary's Blade coupled up with Return to the Archive, one of the new awesome hotness coming out for Xander players. Unmake Dualities. Nothing too crazy here. Stolen chances for these Tristan matchup. We have Rinder, our first Tristan player. He is running both level 3 Tristans. It's running Thurible as well as Censor. They are running 1 Heavenly Guide in the main. 1 Abnegation. Here on the side, they are running a Nocturne's Oblivion. They are running a 2-2 split of Dream Fairy and Snaring Fumes. And a bunch of Scatter Essences on the side. Rui Hong, also running double Tristan. This one does not have Censor in the main. You run Safeguard instead. Some Topsies. 2/2 split of Ensnaring Dream Fairy. Instead of... this one has 2 Abnegations. There's both Nocturne's Oblivion are on the side. And it does have the Censor on the side as well. Snow Wolf here on Umbra Diana. Quick Draw Piercer, Punishing Cartridge, Shadow's Twin, Taser Shot, all normal stuff there. A big emphasis on cakes in this. We're focusing rounds, some turbocharges, and Unmake Duality, just things that'll replace itself. Maybe a green so that you can hit your own focusing rounds, draw a card again. There's no Abnegation in this list, probably justifiably. One of its worst matchups is Fractals, so saying 4 Scatter Essence makes sense. Fate Seal here on Fire Slimes. I've seen a good bit of Fire Slimes cropping up these days. It's had some pretty good placements. A lot of Fire Slimes is quite stock and standard. However, this one does have Ghastly Slime. Ghastly Slime, a 2-cost 2/3. As long as it's ephemeral, it gets +2. And it has class bonus Ephemerate too. Pretty nice. 4 damage beaters. Nothing to gawk at. In the side, we have Serene Spirit, where you can swap out into Serene Spirit if you're going to go second, so that you still have 7 cards. Unyielding Wraithguard and Twilight Slimes. A couple Mystic Purifiers, but nothing too crazy. And finally, we have Choco here on Wind Siryu. Wind Siryu. Nothing out of the ordinary. Royal Oath Guards and Gazelles on the side. Bunch of protection. Nothing too crazy there. All right, next up, we're going to look at the Card Merchant West City Auckland Regionals. This had 38 participants, and we had a good friend of ours take down this event with 402 on Water Fractal Daochan. That is our good friend Glenny Boy. Followed up with Zuto Mayo Enjoyer on Water Allies Xander. Drago another good friend of ours, on Wind Shadow Strike Tristan. KMO on Fire Umbra Ciel. Flenny Boy on Wind Astra Arasana, Saiba on Fire Luxem Xander, Xing Sang, which by the way is a notably very, very talented Flesh and Blood player, on Wind Astra Arasana, and J Davies 96 on Wind Shadow Strike Tristan. So quick recap here, we've got ourselves 2 water decks, Fractals as well as Water Allies, followed up by 6 Wind and Fire decks, 4 of them being Wind, 2 of them being Fire. We've got 2 Shadow Strike Tristans, 2 Wind Astra Arasanas, a Fire Umbra Ciel, a Fire Luxem Xander. Not bad, not bad. A pretty diverse top 8 with some water mixed in there, which is really nice. Let's take a deep look real fast to see if we find any spice in these lists. First up here, we have Fractals. Looking here at the main deck, we do see a resurgence of Nullifying Mirror. Whether it came up a lot or not, to be determined. Enfeebling Orb in the main is really cool. Here on the main board, we do see nothing too out of the ordinary. We see 2 John use Fate's Premonition, probably for things like Topsy Decree or Calming Breeze or something. Whatever is relevant at the time. Turbocharge, 4 Spalling Cleanse, and 2 Frostbind. Everything else is pretty stock. You have to have a pretty stock Fractals list, to be honest with you. A certain number of Fractals is basically mandatory to make this deck work at the moment. Sideboard, bunch of Regalia, 2 Captivating Opulence to help combat those Lorraine players, 2 Extricating Touches, and 2 Song of Frosts. Here, the Water Allies, it's running Mercblade and running Poison Dagger, Censor, both baubles, no water bauble. Here in the main deck, I don't see anything too crazy. Castling Boon, which is really cool. Notably, I don't see a Snow White in here. Normally when you see Castling Boom, you also see Snow White coupled with it, but it does not look like this one has it. Here on the side, we see Naya's and another Freezing Hail, Exposed Darkness, and Stolen Chance. Exploit Vulnerability is really cool because it can help you kill like a Seiryu or a Genbu. I will note that this does have Aquifer Seneschal. Works out really well with Korhazi Trapper because you can then use Korhazi Trapper to protect the Seneschal, so it will inevitably wake up. Here in third place, we have Drago Will, running both Tristans, Lost Providence. It does not run Censor in the main, 1 Topsy, 1 Turbocharge. I don't see a Heavenly Guide here in the main, probably in the side. Sideboard Heavenly Guide, yep. There's no Abnegation in this, but it does run a single Nocturne's Oblivion. No Censor in this list whatsoever. KMO on CL runs both Fragmented and Normal Spirit, depending on you go first. Here in the main board, I note that it's a Beguiling Coup list. It is running Chevaliers. Chevaliers add a little bit of like extra reach because you get to swap omens. I don't see Devastating Blows, which normally you see like a split between Heavy Swings and Devastating Blows. It looks like they went with the Obsequiescing Blow instead. Here on the side, we see some Anti-Tristan, some level 3 tech, and then Overlapping Visages, which is like currently the current tech for killing Sirius and whatnot. Flinny Boy on Arasana. We do see the Orbiting Cosmos, which is if you would glimpse an amount, you glimpse X instead, where X is that amount plus 1. Just giving you an extra glimpse, essentially. More times than not, you're using this as a backup charger, paying 3 to banish it, draw a card in your memory. Here in the main deck, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. It is running a Return to Archive, so that you can maybe, like, if you really have to return your Polaris or something, it's like, okay, you could, like, return to Archive your Looking Glass, but I'm way better just Unmake Duality it. Here in the sideboard, we have 3 Ravaging Tempest and some Arrow Traps to fight all of the Shinju. We have Saiba here. This is running Mercblade as well as Lost Providence, which means we see Return to the Archive as well as Unmake Duality. Wait a second. Am I blind? Is there not an Unmake in here? Oh my god, it's Lost Providence. I thought I was Looking Glass. I'm such a silly goose. Here on the sideboard, nothing too crazy. Of note, we'd see an Orb of Sealing and a Tabula of Salvage. Xing, main deck, Lost Providence, Orbiting Cosmos, 3 Topsy Decrees, and 4 Scatterescence, 2 Ravaging Tempest, and 3 Arrow Trap. And then finally, in 8th place, we have Jade Davies, running both Tristans, does not have a Censor in the main, runs Lost Providence, 2 Topsy Decrees, a 1/2 split Dream Fairy and Snaring Fumes. It does run a Heavenly Guide in the main, no Abnegation, and just some protection spells, a Censor on the side, and Nocturne's Oblivion here on the side as well. And that's it here for the Card Merchant event. Congratulations to our top 8. Exceptional play. Super happy to see a bunch of our friends perform exceptionally well here in a regional event. All right, here we are with the CakeTCG PTM Online Regionals. This had 72 players. And here in first place, we have Banrian on Luxem Xander, followed up by Wind Wake Up with Hinky the Goat, good friend Hinky. Then we have Guruthos, teammate of ours, playing Wind Siryu, followed up by Zello Mage on Wind Siryu, Only Dang on Fire Aggro Daochan, Dom123 on Fire Slime Sylvie, Destiny Clownfish, one of the premier Diana or Ranger players playing Water Aetherwing Diana, and The Real Deal on Wind Shadow Strike Tristan. Let's dive in here and take a quick peek at these lists to see whether or not we have any cool tech cards of note. Here for Banrian, we do see the Mercblade and Lost Providence, so we're running Return to the Archive. Only 2 copies. You do see generally a little bit more than 2 copies in some of these lists. 3, sometimes up to 4. We do see 2 Topsy Decrees as well as 2 Heavenly Guides. Here in the sideboard, we have Woolbrook, which is interesting. It is a domain that comes with a refinement counter. On enter, draw a card in a memory. You can remove a refinement counter to draw a card in your memory. This card is used so that you can essentially put 6 Luxem cards down at level 3. so that you can add another card in your memory and then reveal 6 Luxem cards or some number of Luxem cards. Pretty cool card. I like it a lot. Moving on to Henki with Wind Wake Up. No champion. It is running Inert Sword. A lot of them do for Cheshire Cats. 4 Mad Hatters. Sometimes you see a range between like 2 and 4. Just in case you don't want to be all in on the Ranger Strides combo. We do see Ensnaring Fumes in the side, as well as 3 Topsy Decree, as well as 4 Peaceful Reunions. I wonder how frequently Peaceful Reunions came in on this list. Guruthos on Wind Siryu here, running Censor in the main, does run Looking Glass, as well as 2 Unmake Duality, 2 Dream Fairies, running a 2-1 split on Oathguard Gazelle on the side, as well as 2 Crystallized Destiny and 3 Staggering Strikes. Noteworthy, there is some Cleansing Reunions in this list. Zelomage on Wind Siryu, also running Censor, Ducal Seal, and Lost Providence. Does have Royal Oathguard in the main, as well as 3 Topsy Decree. Sunblessed Gazelle on the side. Was there Oathguard? Yeah, 2 Oathguard in the main. 2 Dream Fairies, as well as 1 on the side. So pretty normal protection package. We have Fire Aggro Daochan. We have a Fragmented Spirit here. Infernal Vessel is noteworthy. This card is amazing. No Water Bobble, but does have Wind and Fire. Running Mainboard Smokeouts. I like that. Because we're running Fragmented, we're running Glower and Conflagration. Sideboard, Stolen Chance. Pretty good against Tristan. Does have the Water Bobble in here, as well as some Crystallized Destiny. We have Dom here on Slimes. The Slimes list looks pretty normal. It does not run the Umbra Slime like the previous event. Here on the side, we have Xiao Kiao, Cinder Keeper, Twilight Slime, Regal Inquisition, Heavenly Guide, and Blanches. Destiny Clownfish. We see that we do not have any of the swords of note. So we're not buffing up our Cheshire Cat. In fact, we do not have a Cheshire Cat. This is like a more grindy, low to the ground version. Instead of going like all in on Ranger Strides. This is a pretty cool looking list. It's interesting to see the non-Cheshire Cat lists. It does have Palver Sword and Cheshire Cats on the side, as well as Mad Hatters, kind of siding into the combo instead of out of the combo. And here in 8th, we have The Real Deal. We've got double Tristan level 3s. No Censor is running Lost Providence. We do have a Heavenly Guide in the main, 2 Topsy Decrees in the main, a 2-2 split for Dream Fairy and Snaring Fumes. We do see the double Abnegation, double Nocturne Oblivion in here. And 3 Scatter Essences in the side. We do see the Censor in the sideboard as well. So peeking back into this top 8, we have a slightly diverse top 8, to be honest with you. Fire Luxem Xander, Wind Wake Up, 2 Siryu lists, Fire Aggro Daochan, Fire Slimes, Aetherwing Diana, and a Tristan. So all in all, like 7 unique lists. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Anyways, that's it here for the CakeTCG Online Regional. Next up, we've got ourselves the CakeTCG In-Person Regional in Utrecht. All right, here with the CakeTCG Utrecht Regional in-person event, we had 34 participants. And let's take a quick peek here at the top 8. We have ourselves good friend as well as very competitive player traveling to a plethora of events. Asuna on Wind Shadow Strike Tristan. We have Ray here on Wind Shadow Strike Tristan. We have Queckling on Wind Siryu, Flying Apple on Fire Aetherwing Diana, Henki the Goat on Wind Unique Ally Wake Up, Dinky Dane on Fire Daochan Burn, Rinka on Wind Shadow Strike Tristan, as well as Razor on Suzaku. So looking here, taking a step back, we had 3 Tristan players in this. We had a Fire Diana, we had a Wind Siryu, a Wind Wake Up, Fire Daochan, and a Fire Suzaku. So like 3 Wind Tristans, a Siryu, and just a bunch of aggro decks. So half aggro, half like mid-range combo. Interesting. Let's see what these players brought to the table in terms of tech cards and see if there's anything cool that we don't see in some of these normal lists. It's starting to seem pretty normalized to play double Tristan level 3s. This one does not have a sensor in it as well. I do not see a Heavenly Guide here in the main. We do see double Crystallized Destiny, triple Topsy Decree, double Regal Inquisition, 2/2 split on Dream Fairy and Snaring Fumes. It does have a Sporel as well as a Penumbral Waltz, so this is a little bit more of a toolbox package than most. Here we see Sensor on the side, a bunch of fun of one-ofs. We do have our Abnegation in here. We have 4 Topsy Decrees in this list, which is kind of crazy. That's a lot of Topsy Decrees. All the Calming Breezes are on the side, so there's a 0 Calming Breeze main. So just really teching for those grindy matchups in game 1 and then moving into the anti-aggro matchups in game 2. Ray here on Tristan. Similar play patterns here. Double Tristan, level 3s, no sensor. This list does have a Heavenly Guide, double Topsy Decree, 2/2 split. This one does have 3 Calming Breezes in the main. Nocturne Oblivion ×2, Abnegation ×2, Sensor and Orb of Sealing on the side, so a little bit more normal here for Ray. Queckling on Siriu does run Sensor, Lost Providence, Quad Forest Cake, pretty normal there. No Oath Guard in the main, no Oath Guard on the side, just a bunch of protection spells and Staggering Strikes. Doesn't look like the Staggering Strikes came in handy because 2 Tristans in top 2. Flying Apple here on Diana. This is the Triumvirate Dream version. Double swords for the Cheshire Cats. Normally when you see both swords, you also see 4 Cheshire Cats just because you really, really want to see them so that you can get 5 damage attacker pretty consistently. Outside of that, one of the key cards in this deck, for those of you who don't know, is Ignition Draw. This card is bonkers. Ignition Draw here says, as long as your champion is distant, it costs 2 less to activate. It's fast speed. Look at the top 6 cards of your deck, banish up to 2 Aether Charges among them, and put the rest at the bottom. You can activate them, which means that you're getting like the ability on them, plus putting them into your Aether Ring as an Aether Charge. So pretty nuts. This deck can do a lot of damage with Triumvirate Dream, which says on attack, if there's exactly 3 Aether Charge cards in the intent, it gets +3. So it's normally attacking for 7. Hits hard, hits fast, and kills you really, really quick. Here on the sideboard does have number 4 Cheshire Cat, and then some interesting protection spells, as well as a Viridian Protective Trinket. Hinky the Goat, let's see. Wind Piercer. Let's see here. 4 Cheshire Cat, 4 Mad Hatter. Going full combo main board. Has some tech cards like Staggering Strike, as well as Pure Beyond and Stolen Chance in the sideboard. Sensor. You know, honestly, Hinky, next time, you should really just full tech to beat Asuna. You know what I'm saying? Just go 4 Staggering Strikes main, 4 Stolen Chance main, and just like knock out your best Balasana. You know what I'm saying? I'm just playing. Dinky Dane on Fractals, Fire Fractals, Infernal Vessel in the main. Does have double Bobble, no Water Bobble. Main board does have double Smoke Out. It is running Glowering, even though it's not on Fragmented. Water Bobble and Viridian Protective Trinket to the side. And then Staggering Strike, Stolen Chance, and Crystallized Destiny on the side as well. Rinka on Tristan. Does have Sensor in the main. Double level 3s. Lost Providence. 1 Heavenly Guide. 2 Topsies. 2/2 split Dream Fairy and Snaring Fumes. 3 Calming Breeze main. 2 Abnegation main. 2 Nocturne Oblivion side. And then Sealing as well as Nullifying Lantern main with 3 Scatter Essences. Fire Suzaku. See if there's anything out of the ordinary here. I know a lot of them are running 3 Restorative Flames these days. Pretty normal list. Does run a 1 of Shopkeep, 1 of Crystallized Destiny. Just a little bit of protection to kind of help shore up some of those aggro mirror matches. Infernal Vessel is in the side, as well as Topsy Decree and Staggering Strike. Anyways, big congratulations to Asuna. Awesome. Well done to the top 8. There was a good amount of Shadow Strike Tristan in here, but nevertheless, well done to all of our top 8 players. Big shout out to our good friend Tenki the Goat, part of the Lineage Break family, Asuna, and the rest of the players who made top cut. Moving on, we're going to go ahead and look at the Massachusetts Regional. Speaking of Lineage Break, this is their regional at Webway Games in person. This had 51 players, and taking down the event is the one, the only Lineage Break Steve on Fire Oblation CL. Followed up by Juju Wu on Luxem Xander, Kim Collapse, another wonderful player on Wind Siryu, Sensei Shari, Fire Aggro Lorraine, our boy in main deck, Jay Collage, which is on Wind Allies, AMF Doomblade, another Lineage Break family member on Shadow Strike Tristan, pretty much like the only thing that Doomblade likes to play these days. We've got Kaker on Crux Merlin and Quakeums on Astra Diana. Let's take a quick peek at these lists and see if we find some spice. Looking at Steve's list, we've got Devouring Malice, something that's been cropping up a little bit more and more with Divine Providence. It is running the Serene Spirit and regular Spirit of Fire, so you can kind of pick and choose which route you want to go, whether you're going first or second. Here in the main, double Topsy, triple Dev Blow, no heavy swing. And it is running Baleful Oblation with Advent of the Stormcaller. It is also running 4 Foe Awakening. This card can set up some pretty nutty combos, by the way. Foe Awakening. I will say that a lot of people play Foe Awakening with a Cursed Strength. A Cursed Strength basically says you could draw cards based off of how many your influence. And then Foe Awakening on top of it, so you can discard everything and just draw new cards. Here in the sideboard, we've got some Abnegation, some Smoke Out, some Fire Interference, Infernal Vessel, which that's definitely very interesting if you play Serene Spirit. Well done, Steve. Here we've got Luxem Xander in second place. We do see Spire, Mercenary's Blade, and Looking Glass, so we're probably running both Archive as well as Duality. We do have 4 Return to the Archive here, and Looking Glass. Do we not play Unmake? Am I missing the Unmake? What's the purpose of the Looking Glass if you're not playing Unmake Duality? That's interesting. Okay. Nevertheless, we are not playing Unmake Duality, but maybe we might find a reason why we're playing the Looking Glass. Here on the sideboard, we see Excalibur, Planet Explosives, Regals, just a bunch of protection stuff, as well as Tabula of Salvage so you don't get milled out, or for Regal Inquisitions. Definitely an interesting thing to play Looking Glass, but not Unmake Duality. I would almost want to play a completely different Regalia. Nevertheless, we'll move forward. Wind Siryu here, Censor main, Lost Providence main, does run 2 Oathguard. Ooh, Rictus Tiding, triple Rictus Tiding. That's definitely a choice. We are running, 3 Dream Fairy total? No Dream Fairy main, unless I'm blind. No Dream Fairy main, one side. Very interesting. You'd think with how popular Siryu is, as well as Tristan, which has Ace and Protectors, you'd want more Dream Fairies. But we're going for more of an interesting beatdown plan with like Grove Swords and Train Talks. We have Sensei Shari here on Fire Crux Lorraine. We are running Sword of Saint's Vow. So we've got ways to give it refinement counters, Honed by Fire. Looks like, oh, there's the Tempered Steel and Tempered Steel. Okay, cool. Pretty normal list here. Nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. It does run 4 Ember Crypt Burn. Here on the side, we've got Acolyte, Restorative Flame, Immolation Trap, Demolition, Pure Beyond, Incap, and Disenchant. So a good amount of protection spells. We got our boy JC out here on Wind Allies. It does run the Clarent copies as well as Censor. We're running 3 Dream Fairy in this list. Do we run Displace? Oh, we do run 3 Displace. The reason why Displace is so good is because you can stick a Dream Fairy on the board, start swinging for 1 damage, and then if they end up flipping a dragon or someone flips like a Ginbu or something, you can displace it. Pretty good. I like it a lot. 4 of Spades in here. Eternal Magistrate. Eternal Magistrate is nuts. I think this card is super slept on in the current meta. You can't bring out Lost Providence if there's an imbued Eternal Magistrate. 4 Razor Gale Calling. My lord. JC came in with the heat. 4 Razor Gale Calling and 2 Tempest Downfall. Switching into a combo deck is crazy. You just swap out these 5 norm cards basically. Love to see that. JC, well done. Let's check out MF Doomblade here. Double Tristan, no Censor. 4 Topsy Decree main, 1 Heavenly Guide main. 3 Unmake Duality. That's fair. 2-2 split Dream Fairy and Snaring Fumes is running Calming Breeze main. 61 card special for the turbocharge. Sideboard, a bunch of fun of 1-ofs. Veiling Breeze, Tempest Downfall, and some Scatter Essences. Let's look at this Merlin list. It is running Vorpal Sword. It's our good friend and local player, Cakart. Vorpal Sword, pretty big hits, does have a good amount of durability, but doesn't have a lot of tech going into the meta with giving it Spell Shroud and or doing ally on hit for prep counters. Here on the main board, we've got some Protection, Unmake Duality, Turbocharge. There's no Cheshire Cats. We are running Fracturize for Prismatic Edge. We run 3 Sacred Engulfments as well as 3 Flared Iridescence. So we're just going really big fireballs in this. We're going mini fireballs and really big fireballs. Here on the sideboard, we've got a slew of fun of 1-ofs, including Palaver Sword and a bunch of protection spells. Quakeum's coming in 8th here. We've got Diana. This is Astra Diana running Lost Providence, as well as maybe one of my favorite cards, Teardrop Diadem. Basically says banish 3 float, draw 3 cards. I love that. Love that for us. It does run Ranger Strides, which I think a lot of Astralists do. This is kind of a slow grind, slow burn type situation where you outvalue people with your level 3. This isn't like a quick, fast combo deck. Here on the side, Frozen Dismissal, Regals, Blanche, as well as Backup Charger, Orb of Sealing Smoke Bombs, so that you can kind of decide based off of your game plan moving forward. Something of note, we do have a Lunar Conduit, something that will end up costing 1 because we do not have class bonus. But if you go into the late game and you do need the grind, you can kind of pick up some of your some damage off of some of your Aether charges and whatnot. Anyways, huge congratulations to all of the main deck, as well as Lineage Break members, as well as the rest of the competitors who made Top Cut. Well done to all of you. Exceptional tournament run, and congratulations. Moving on, we have the Grand Crusaders Cup. This is the main event that happened. It had 282 players. It's basically like a little mini Ascent, or honestly, a full-size Ascent coming out of Malaysia. Let's take a quick peek here at the top 8. We've got Ruby Exilia on Shadowstrike Tristan. We've got KYH on Wind Siryu Gaugia. Leo Wong on Fire Luxem Xander. Good friend, incredibly powerful competitor, Quarax on Wind Shadowstrike Tristan. TCJ on Wind Siryu. Slain on Crux Merlin. Chilled Bing on Wind Siryu, and Minbao on Water Fractals. So looking here, we've got ourselves 2 Siryu, 2 Tristan, a Fire Xander, a Fire Merlin, as well as a Fractal Dao-Chan. Pretty diverse. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's 3 Siryu. My apologies. 2 Tristan, 3 Siryu, Merlin, Water Fractals, and Fire Xander. Let's take a quick peek at this list and see if we find any sweet tech. Let's see here. Ruby, no Censor, double Shadow Reaver, 1 Heavenly Guide, 2 Topsies. We do see 2 Ensnaring Fumes with no... It doesn't look like there's any Dream Fairies in this list. So going more on the protection side with Veiling and Calming Breeze. and just relying on ensnaring fumes against Seiryu lists. Does have abnegations in this, as well as Nocturne's Oblivions, and then an extra copy of ensnaring, and then some protection spells here in the main, on the side rather. Censor is in the sideboard as well of note. KYH, the runner-up for the event, is running the Lost Providence version of Seiryu. It is running Spellword Scepter in the main, which is noteworthy to help give you the opportunity to play those Arcane Blasts without getting incapacitated. 3 Regal Inquisitions in the main. A good amount of protection here. It is running Dream Fairy. I don't see any displace, but it does run Winds of Destiny. And 2 Gazelles in the main. Here on the side, we have Lightweaver's Assault, Excal, 1 more Dream Fairy, and 2 Oath Guards, as well as 2 Morgan Soul Guides. Some good protection and tech here on the side. We are running here Lost Providence as well as Mercblade for Fire Luxem Xander, so we will be running the... oh, wait, are we not? Oh, we're not. We're not running the card to return the... banish the Mercblade to draw a card. We will be running 1 Crystallized Destiny, triple Topsy Decree, 1 Regal Inquisition, and a lot of the same cards you normally see. There is 2 Planet Explosives in the main, which is very interesting. Excalibur times 2. Here on the side, we've got some more protection spells, Stolen Chances, Nullifying Mirror, and Safeguard Amulet. Corex, not running Censor in the main, doubles Tristan, Lost Providence, 3 Topsy Decrees, 1 Heavenly Guide, 2/2 Split Dream Fairy and Snaring Fumes, 1 Abnegation, 1 more in the side, Scatter Essences, some protection spells. The Censor is in the side here, and triple Regal Inquisition. Here with TCJ, normal Regalia, or material deck, we are running 61 cards here. We have 3 Dream Fairy, 2 Displace. We've seen a lot of 2 Dream Fairy, 3 Displace, so this one's swapped around a little bit. We're running 3 Long Tails, 2 Trained Hawks, and 4 Forest Cakes. Really helps kill those Cheshire Cats. You get yourself a Trained Hawk with a Forest Cake on it. It has True Sight. You're just eating Cheshire Cats left and right. Here on the side, we've got 3 Regal, 3 Staggering Strike, 3 Expel the Departed, Spellword Scepter, and Orb of Sealing. Slain on Merlin, running a bunch of 2 Norm Swords, Sword of Seeking and Drawn Blade, as well as Inner and Prismatic Edge. We will be running the Majestic Spirit in this list, so probably 3 or 4 Incarnate. We do have 3. We are running Unmake Duality, triple Topsy Decree. We're running Reprogram, which tells me that probably we have Nimue in this list somewhere. Fluffies. Here on the side, triple Nimue, as I thought. 1 more Incarnate Majesty. Crumbling Rain, something you don't see very often. 2 cost Slow Speed, EX action. Destroy target item or weapon. It's probably to get rid of those Incandescent Reliquaries from when Seiryu. And some other protection spells. Chilled Bang. Playing Seiryu. Pretty normal mat deck. 60 cards. 3 Dream Fairy, 2 Displace. 2 Trained Hawks, 2 Grove Swords, 4 Forest Cake, 1 Gazelle of note. Here on the side, 2 Regals, 4 Stolen Chance, 1 Staggering Strike, 2 Expel, 3 Blanche, and an Enfeebling Orb. Finally, in 8th place, we have Min Bao. We have Censor in the main, Lantern and Enfeebling Orb in the main. We've got 1, 2, 3 backup chargers and Scepter of Fascination. So there's no Wander Frost here in the main. We do have 1 Captivating Opulence, 1 Song of Frost, 2 Frostbind, 1 Turbocharge, and 1 Fluffy Shopkeep, and then a suite of normal water cards for Fractals. Here on the side, we've got ourselves 2 Baubles, 1 Safeguard Amulet, Overlapping Visages, which is primarily used for those like single threat decks, 1 more Captivating Opulence, 1 Turbocharge, and 2 Song of Frosts. Huge shout out to Ruby, as well as the rest of the top 8. Congratulations, this was not an easy event to take down. Going into top 8 required you to go 10-2-1 essentially. 10-3 being a cutoff is a pretty scary cutoff. It looks like there was a couple players that were right there on the edge. Kin on water, Ginbu on the edge. It looked like this would have been a pretty clean cut with Kin. Kin bubbled out with the exact same number of points as Chilled Bang, Slain, as well as Minbao. Nevertheless, well done to all of our competitors. Congratulations and exceptional tournament run. Going into our last regionals, we have ourselves new Taipei Regional. This had 268 players. This was run by Fable, another in-person regional in Taiwan, basically an ascent at this level. Looking here at the top 8, we've got Dennis Yao on Water Aetherwing Diana, Freedom on Wind Wake Up, Ferrari on Water Aetherwing Diana, Corgi on Water Aetherwing Diana, K-Fit on Fire Crux Lorraine, Dog on Fire Aggro Merlin, Starry on Wind Wake Up Tristan, and Kaku on Wind Allies Crux Lorraine. So we have 3 Water Aetherwing Dianas, 2 Wind Wake Ups it was, I think. Yep, 2 Wind Wake Ups, 1 Fire Crux Lorraine, 1 Wind Allies Crux Lorraine, and a Fire Merlin, which is essentially like FISA in a way. Let's dive in and take a look at these top 8 to see whether or not we see anything spicy. Here for Dennis Yao, we've got ourselves a Power Inert Sword, so we've got Cheshire Cat stacking for 5, so we have 4 of them. Only 2 Mad Hatters, so we're not going all in on Ranger Strides combo. 2 Diana Haunt Reminiscence, 2 Ice Queens, 2 Frozen Dismissals, 3 Staggering Strikes, a bunch of normal cards. Here with Freedom, exceptional run, bubbled out of the most recent ascent in 9th place, so he was able to come back with a vengeance here in this regional. Is running Inert Sword Ranger Strides for the combo, 4 Mad Hatters, so we're a little bit more all in on the combo, 4 Cheshire Cats, Vertigo's Decree, Veiling Breeze, 4 Scatterescence, Cry for Help. So there's a lot of tech here, 4 Fractals in this. Very protective sideboard. For Rarity on Wind Aetherwing Diana, does run double swords. 4 Cheshire Cats. There is no Mad Hatters in the main. Double Weiss Queen, double Frozen Dismissal, and overlapping Visages. Nothing too crazy here out of the ordinary. Corgi, double sword, 4 Cheshire Cats, 2 Mad Hatters. All of these are Carp Song Coda lists. This one does not run Snow Whites on the side. No Snow Whites in the main. So it's got 2 Frozen Dismissal, 3 Staggering Strikes, 2 Reveal the Hidden, 3 Etheric Reforging, and 2 Unbroken Mustangs. K-Fit here on Fire Crux Lorraine. This is a level 3 Sword of Satan's Vow list. Has 3 Distortion Swords. So these Cheshire Cats could theoretically attack for 6. 4 Cheshire Cats, 3 Undeniable Truths. This is Rending Flames list. No Devastating Blows of note. The Undeniable Truths are working with planted explosives, making it so that you can sacrifice a unit before it dies, draw a card, and get a prep counter so that you can then plant it explosives later for a lot of damage. It does run 3 Topsies on the side, 2 Varuk, 3 Acolytes, some Reveal the Hidden, Crystallized Destiny, Pure Beyond, and a Null Spell. Dog here on Fire Aggro Merlin. Let's take a quick peek here. A lot of this looks like some normal Fire FISA lists. We do have Infernal Vessel in here. We don't see anything crazy out of the ordinary. Of note that it runs Moat Seer and Molten Echo. Cutthroats. We've seen these back in the past with FISA lists. Classic Rococo, Red Hair, Arthur, Vermilion Decrees. In the side, it does have Varuk as well as Meltdowns, as well as Staggering Strikes. Here in 7th, we have Wind Wake Up Tristan. It looks like a pretty normal Wind Wake Up list. It only does run Tristan in the main, so we've got probably in caps. Yep, in caps in the main. This is an all-in combo list with 4 Mad Hatters, 4 Cheshire Cats. It can pivot to a slower plane with Inert Sword, but more times than not, when you have 4 Mad Hatters, you want to go pretty fast. You generally want to bring out a drop stamina pretty fast and just like go for an all-in kill. We've got Squall Snares, Cry for Help, Pure Beyond, some pretty normal cards, protection cards here in the side. For those of you who don't know, Squall Snare, suppress 2 allies with the same reserve cost rather. So this kind of gives you the ability to remove any type of like library witches or just a lot of utility, to be honest with you. And then finally, we've got Kaku on when allies Crux the Rain. This is essentially just an allies list that leans heavy on Cheshire Cat, I imagine. Yep, 4 Cheshire Cat, 3 swords. Does have Votive Runeblade, so but it does not run a Insole. So it's just relying on some powerful allies to mix with things like Banner Knight in order to push for some high-end damage. Just a bunch of value in these allies, and then some Escape the Wreckages. Here on the side, we've got some protection spells, Scatter Essence, Calming Breeze, Covenant once again coming up, Topsy Decree, Resolute Stand, Crystallized Destiny, Zephyr, and Tempest Downfall. Big shout out to all of our players here in the Fable Regional. 270 players approximately is not a small event whatsoever, so you really had to put the pedal to the metal and push out some results in order to top 8 this event. Exceptional play. One of our good friends, Freedom, was able to come out with a really good result at 7-1-1. Has been playing Wind Wake Up for a little while now and has some great results on it. Nevertheless, that covers all 8 of our events that we wanted to talk about. We had a pretty large laundry list of players. Something of note here, some of the key tops that we saw across all 8 of these is we saw 9 Wind Gouge lists across these 8 events in the top cut, 8 Wind Tristans, 6 Aetherwing Dianas, and 5 Luxem Xanders. So 5 Fire Luxem Xanders of note. There's a couple more because one of these events came out a little bit later, so it was probably a little bit closer to like 11 Tristans and then like 6 Wind Wake Ups, all in all. Nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching and stopping in. Let me know down in the comments what decks you think will do exceptionally well in the upcoming Ascent London, and if you saw any cool tech cards in the list here that you did not expect to see. Anyways, that's your boy, Main Deck, and Coach Perfy checking out. Deuces.